In the shadowed corridors of existence, beyond the veil of mortal life, lies a realm that has long captivated the human imagination. The afterlife, a concept as old as humanity itself, is often envisioned as a haven of eternal peace and tranquility. Yet, not every soul finds solace in its ethereal embrace. There exists a darker, more enigmatic side to this spiritual domain, one that has remained shrouded in mystery and fear. It is here that we encounter the forbidden secrets revealed by Edgar Cayce, the renowned American mystic whose visions pierce the boundaries of life and death. Edgar Cayce, often referred to as the sleeping prophet, delved into the depths of the unconscious mind, uncovering truths that challenged conventional wisdom. His revelations, steeped in ancient spirituality and historical context, painted a stark and sobering picture of the afterlife. According to Cayce, not every soul survives the transition beyond death. Some spirits, lost and bewildered, find themselves ensnared in a realm of darkness, unable to ascend to the light. This revelation starkly contrasts the comforting narratives of eternal bliss that dominate many spiritual traditions. Cayce's insights suggest a more complex and nuanced spiritual journey, one fraught with peril and the potential for failure. The afterlife, in his vision, is not a guaranteed sanctuary, but a realm where the soul's destiny is shaped by its earthly deeds and spiritual preparedness. As we delve deeper into this mystical landscape, we are compelled to question our understanding of life after death. What determines a soul's fate in the afterlife? Are there spiritual practices or virtues that can ensure a safe passage? These are the questions that Cayce's revelations provoke, inviting us to contemplate the profound mysteries of existence. In the following exploration, we will journey through various spiritual traditions, weaving historical beliefs with Cayce's insights to uncover the dichotomy between light and darkness in the spiritual realm. Join us as we ponder the nature of the soul's journey after death, embracing a contemplative energy that encourages reflection and introspection. Prepare to challenge your perceptions and embrace a new understanding of the afterlife, one that is as revealing as it is mysterious. In the vast tapestry of spiritual traditions, the afterlife has long been envisioned as a realm of dichotomies, where light and darkness coexist in eternal tension. From the ancient Egyptians' duat to the Tibetan Buddhists' bardo, the journey of the soul beyond death is fraught with both peril and promise. Edgar Cayce, the enigmatic seer, delved deep into these mysteries, revealing a forbidden secret that challenges our most comforting assumptions about the hereafter. Cayce's insights echo the ancient Zoroastrian concept of the Shinvat Bridge, where souls cross towards either the house of song or the house of lies. This bridge, narrow and perilous, is a test of the soul's earthly deeds and spiritual prowess. Similarly, Cayce spoke of realms where souls may become ensnared, lost in the darkness of their own making. These are not merely metaphors, but spiritual truths that resonate through history, from the shadowy underworld of Greek myth to the purgatorial fires of Christian belief. In this spiritual landscape, light is not a guarantee but a goal. Souls must navigate the treacherous currents of their own desires and regrets, as well as the darker forces that seek to ensnare them. Cayce revealed that some souls fail to find their way, succumbing to the darkness, drawn into a state of spiritual stagnation, or worse, chaos. These lost spirits, according to Cayce, may never complete their journey into the light, a chilling thought that contradicts more comforting narratives of universal salvation. The dichotomy of light and darkness is not a simple matter of good and evil, but a complex interplay of choice, consequence, and spiritual growth. Cayce's revelations ask us to consider the nature of the soul's journey, to ponder the weight of our earthly actions and the reality of our spiritual struggles. They invite us to reflect on the profound mysteries of the afterlife, to question our assumptions, and to strive for spiritual understanding. As we delve deeper into the forbidden secrets revealed by Edgar Cayce, one is compelled to consider the nature of the soul's journey. Is the afterlife a place of universal redemption, or is it a realm of trial and potential tribulation? What determines a soul's path, and how might we prepare for the journey ahead? In the contemplative spirit of Cayce's insights, we are called to ponder these questions, to reflect on our own spiritual journey, and to seek the light amidst the shadows. In the vast and enigmatic landscape of the afterlife, not all souls find their way to the light. Edgar Cayce, the renowned mystic, revealed a secret that had long been shrouded in silence. Some souls falter in their journey, failing to survive the trials that await beyond the veil of death. This revelation, steeped in both historical context and contemporary spirituality, invites us to contemplate the profound and often overlooked complexities of the spiritual realm. Cayce's insights paint a picture of a spiritual journey fraught with challenges that can lead to stagnation or even chaos. According to his readings, souls that are burdened by unresolved earthly attachments, unhealed emotional wounds, or a lack of spiritual preparedness may find themselves lost in a realm of darkness. These souls, unable to transition into the light, become trapped in a state of limbo, a purgatorial existence where time seems to stand still. The reasons behind these failures are as varied as the souls themselves. Some may be weighed down by the heaviness of past actions, the karmic debts that have not been settled. Others may be held back by their inability to let go of material possessions or earthly desires. Still others may be lost due to a lack of spiritual knowledge or guidance, unaware of the path that leads to the light. Cayce quote, "Revelations echo the ancient beliefs of many cultures, where the afterlife is not a guaranteed haven, but a realm of trials and tribulations." From the Egyptian Book of the Dead to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, historical texts have long warned of the dangers that await the unprepared soul. These accounts, merged with Cayce's modern insights, create a tapestry of spiritual wisdom that spans centuries, inviting us to consider the conditions that lead to spiritual stagnation. As we delve into this mysterious realm, we are called to reflect on our own spiritual preparedness. What are the attachments and wounds that we carry, and how might they affect our journey beyond this life? This exploration is not merely an academic exercise, but a profound call to consider the deeper implications of our actions and beliefs. In understanding the plight of lost souls, we are invited to cultivate empathy and a deeper sense of responsibility for our own spiritual growth. Take a moment to ponder these revelations and consider the path that lies ahead, both in this life and beyond. In the quietude of the astral plane, where time holds little meaning, there exist souls that have lost their way, their journeys halted in the gloom of a neither here nor there existence. Edgar Cayce, the renowned mystic, pulled back the veil on this stark reality, revealing the emotional turmoil of these lost spirits. These are not tales for the faint-hearted, for they speak of a profound, almost unimaginable sorrow and confusion. Imagine, if you will, the spirit of a soldier, fresh from the battlefields of World War I, suddenly freed from his mortal constraints. He finds himself not in the peaceful embrace of loved ones past, but in a landscape as bleak and devastated as the one he left behind. Cayce spoke of such spirits, wandering aimlessly, still echoing the traumas of their past lives, unable to find solace or direction. The soldier calls out for his comrades, his family, but his cries go unanswered, lost in the vast, empty expanse. His anguish is palpable, a relentless tide that ebbs but never fully retreats. Then there are those who, in life, were driven by selfish pursuits, their hearts closed to the needs of others. In the afterlife, they find themselves in a stark, isolated landscape, reflecting the barrenness of their souls. Cayce described these spirits as being enveloped in a darkness that is not merely the absence of light, but the absence of love. They grasp at memories of material wealth, only to find them as insubstantial as smoke. Their emotional turmoil is a relentless storm, a grappling with the reality of their choices and the hollow echo of what could have been. The plight of these lost souls is not presented to instill fear, but to stir empathy and reflection. It raises profound questions about our moral responsibility to prepare ourselves spiritually during our earthly sojourn. What do we owe to ourselves, to others, to the divine spark within each of us, to ensure our safe passage? Cayce's revelations compel us to consider that the afterlife is not a given, but a journey that requires mindful navigation. Ponder. Then, the implications of these revelations allow them to kindle a sense of compassion for those lost in the darkness, and a resolve to seek spiritual growth and understanding in your own life. For in the contemplation of these mysteries, we find the call to align ourselves with love, with light, and with the path that leads ever onward. In the dense fog of the afterlife's mysteries, Edgar Cayce illuminated a path, a lifeline for souls adrift in the abyss. He revealed that the realm beyond death is not a passive plane of existence, but a dynamic landscape requiring spiritual acumen to navigate its complexities. Cayce emphasized spiritual safeguards, practices, and understandings essential for a successful transition, echoing the wisdom of spiritual seekers from various traditions across history. Cayce underscored the power of meditation, a practice that mirrors the introspective journeys of ancient mystics. By stilling the mind and turning inward, individuals cultivate an awareness that transcends the physical realm. This practice, reminiscent of the contemplative paths of early Christian ascetics and Buddhist monks, fosters a connection to the divine that serves as a beacon in the afterlife. Complementing meditation is the practice of dream work, a method of exploring consciousness that Cayce believed held profound implications for the soul's journey. Ancient cultures, from the dream temples of Greece to the vision quests of Native Americans, understood the power of dreams as portals to other realms. Engaging with dreams consciously allows individuals to rehearse for the afterlife, becoming adept at navigating non-physical dimensions. Forgiveness and compassion, as taught by spiritual luminaries from Jesus to the Dalai Lama, are not merely moral virtues but spiritual necessities. Cayce revealed that unresolved emotions like guilt and resentment act as anchors, tethering souls to the darkness. By cultivating forgiveness and compassion, individuals shed these emotional weights, freeing themselves to ascend towards the light. Cayce also spoke of service to others as a spiritual safeguard. This aligns with the teachings of Gandhi and Mother Teresa, who embodied selfless service. By dedicating oneself to the betterment of others, individuals foster a spiritual momentum that propels them forward in the afterlife. Historical anecdotes tell of spiritual seekers who, through these practices, achieved enlightenment and peaceful transitions. Consider the account of Saint Francis of Assisi, whose life of service and compassion left an indelible mark on his soul's journey. Or the story of Milarepa, the Tibetan saint whose meditation practices transformed his afterlife experience. Viewers are invited to adopt these practices, not out of fear, but with a sense of empowerment. By integrating meditation, dream work, forgiveness, compassion, and service into their lives, individuals foster a spiritual resilience that prepares them for the journey beyond death. Reflect on these safeguards not as mere rituals, but as transformative paths that illuminate the way through the afterlife's complexities. Embrace this knowledge, for it is a lantern in the darkness, a whisper of guidance from those who have traversed the path before. In the quietude of the afterlife, a stark reality unfolds, one that Edgar Cayce, the renowned mystic, dared to unveil. Not every soul finds solace in the great beyond. Instead, some are ensnared in a labyrinth of darkness, tethered by the unseen chains of their own emotions. These psychological and emotional blocks, Cayce revealed, are the silent architects of a tormented afterlife, impeding the soul's journey towards fulfillment. Fear, a primal and potent force, often casts the longest shadow. Historical accounts such as those from ancient Egyptian spiritual texts illustrate fear's paralyzing effect. Souls gripped by the terror of the unknown or the dread of final judgment may find themselves frozen, unable to progress through the spiritual realms. Cayce echoed this, describing fear as a dense, impenetrable fog that obscures the path to enlightenment. Guilt, another formidable barrier, weighs heavily on the soul. Medieval Christian mystics wrote of spirits burdened by past transgressions, endlessly reliving their mistakes. Cayce affirmed this, teaching that guilt anchors the soul in darkness, making it impossible to ascend to higher planes. The soul mired in self-condemnation becomes its own jailer, trapped in a perpetual cycle of remorse. Attachment, the insidious bond to earthly desires and possessions, can also ensnare a soul. In Buddhist traditions, tales of hungry ghosts illustrate this torment, spirits so consumed by their attachments that they cannot move on. Cayce warned of this peril, explaining that attachment creates a gravitational pull towards the material world, preventing the soul from embracing the spiritual. These emotional blocks, Cayce insisted, are not insurmountable. Through spiritual introspection and resolve, they can be overcome. He urged individuals to confront their fears, release their guilt, and relinquish their attachments. By doing so, they prepare their souls for a journey unimpeded by darkness. Reflect upon your own emotional landscape, dear viewer. Consider the shadows that may linger, the burdens that may weigh heavily. Allow Cayce's wisdom to illuminate your path, inspiring you to break free from the chains that bind. For in doing so, you take command of your spiritual destiny, ensuring a passage to a fulfilled afterlife. Ponder the unseen connections in your life, the guides that may beckon you towards the light. But first, you must look within, confronting the darkness that may dwell in the recesses of your soul. In the vast and enigmatic landscape of the afterlife, there exist entities known as spiritual guides, their roles crucial in navigating the complexities that lie beyond the veil of death. Edgar Cayce, the renowned mystic, shed light on these celestial beings, drawing from a well of knowledge that spanned both historical spiritual literature and his own profound insights. These guides, he revealed, are not mere specters but essential companions, their significance paramount in ensuring a soul's safe passage through the treacherous terrain of the afterlife. Spiritual guides manifest in myriad forms, each serving a unique purpose. Some are beacons of light, illuminating the path for the newly departed, helping them traverse the labyrinthine corridors of the spiritual realm. Others act as guardians, protecting souls from the darker forces that lurk in the shadows, waiting to ensnare the unwary. There are also the sage advisors, imparting wisdom and counsel to those who find themselves lost or confused. Their words a lifeline in the tumultuous sea of the afterlife. Cayce spoke of the guardians of the threshold, powerful spiritual entities that stand sentinel at the boundary between life and death. Their role is to challenge the soul, to test its readiness to confront the darkness within and without. They are not to be feared, but respected, for they hold the key to the soul's progression. There are also the teachers, evolved souls who have chosen to guide rather than progress, their lessons invaluable to the spiritual growth of those under their tutelage. In the quiet moments of reflection, one might ponder the unseen connections in their own lives, the subtle influences that have guided their personal journeys. Perhaps a stranger's kind words that steered one away from a dangerous path, or a seemingly chance encounter that led to a life-altering decision. These are the whispers of the spiritual guides. Their presence a constant in our lives, whether we recognize them or not. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the afterlife, consider the role these guides play in your own spiritual journey. Reflect on the moments that have shaped your life, the decisions that have brought you to this point. Perhaps you will find the faint traces of their influence, the echoes of their guidance resonating through your life. In the contemplation of these connections, one may find a new perspective, a deeper understanding of the unseen world that exists alongside our own. For in the end, the journey of the soul is not a solitary one, but a dance of intertwined destinies, guided by the unseen hands of the spiritual realm. In the sprawling landscape of the afterlife, not all souls find solace or continuity. Edgar Cayce, the enigmatic seer, revealed that some spirits falter, lost in the shadows, unable to navigate the treacherous waters of the beyond. Yet, in this labyrinth of darkness, there exists a glimmer of hope, a mechanism of cosmic symmetry, reincarnation. Cayce posited that the cycle of life and death is not merely a linear journey, but a spiraling path of learning and spiritual evolution. For souls that find themselves adrift in the afterlife, the unresolved issues of their past lives can act as anchors, pulling them back into the physical realm. These lost souls, burdened by the weight of unfinished business, may return to the world of the living, seeking resolution and redemption. Cayce's readings suggest that the trials and tribulations of each lifetime offer unique lessons, opportunities for growth that can only be grasped through the lens of mortality. In this intricate dance of existence, love and forgiveness emerge as the paramount teachers. They are the beacons that guide lost souls back to the path of enlightenment. Each life, with its joys and sorrows, its triumphs and failures, presents a chance to embrace these virtues, to weave them into the fabric of the soul. Through reincarnation, the spirit is given the opportunity to right past wrongs, to learn from mistakes, and to grow in compassion and wisdom. Consider the profound implications of this cyclical journey. Each soul in its quest for spiritual elevation carries with it the echoes of past lives, the lessons learned and yet to be mastered. The lost souls, those who struggle to find their way in the afterlife, are not condemned but rather offered another chance, another turn in the wheel of life and death. Reflect on the unseen connections in your own life, the echoes of past experiences that shape your present. Might they be whispers from a distant lifetime, nudging you towards growth and understanding? Ponder the role of love and forgiveness in your journey, and how they might illuminate the path for your soul's evolution. For in the grand tapestry of existence, every thread matters, every life leaves its mark, and every soul has the potential to find its way back to the light. In the quietude of ancient monasteries and the whispered echoes of time, the significance of spiritual awareness has long been chronicled. Edgar Cayce, in his profound revelations, illuminated the path that souls tread beyond the veil of mortality. It is not merely a journey of passive transition, but an odyssey that demands preparation, mindfulness, and a deep connection to higher truths. The souls that falter, that find themselves lost in the abyss, are often those that neglected their spiritual growth in life. The historical narratives of spiritual seekers, from the contemplative monks of Tibet to the mystics of medieval Europe, underscore the importance of self-reflection and spiritual practice. These souls, steeped in mindfulness and connected to the divine, navigated the afterlife with a sense of purpose and direction. They understood that the soul's journey does not end with the final breath, but continues through realms unseen, where the currency is not gold, but spiritual wisdom. Cayce's readings reveal that the afterlife is not a safe haven by default, but a realm where the soul's preparedness is paramount. Those who fail to cultivate spiritual awareness in life may find themselves adrift, unable to ascend to higher planes of existence. The darkness that envelops these lost souls is not a punishment, but a consequence of their own neglect. It is a stark reminder of the importance of nurturing the soul's well-being while in the physical realm. In the contemplative spirit of a distant academic, consider the cyclical nature of life and death as an opportunity for growth. Each lifetime is a classroom, each experience a lesson. Through mindfulness and self-reflection, one can learn the higher truths that will guide the soul through the labyrinth of the afterlife. This is not a passive endeavor but a proactive approach to spirituality that empowers the soul. Viewers are encouraged to develop their spiritual practice, to seek the higher truths that resonate within their hearts. This is not about religious dogma, but about cultivating a deep personal connection to the divine. In the quiet moments of meditation, in the whispered prayers of the soul, one can find the light that will guide them through the darkness of the afterlife. Reflect on this and consider the path that your own soul will tread. In the sprawling landscape of the afterlife, not all souls find solace or continuity. Edgar Cayce, the enigmatic seer, unveiled a truth often shrouded in silence. The afterlife is not a guaranteed sanctuary for every spirit. Throughout this journey, we have traversed the darker corridors of existence beyond death, illuminating the stark reality that some souls falter and are lost to an eternal darkness. This revelation, grounded in Cayce's profound insights and historical narratives, compels us to confront the sobering truth about our spiritual destinies. Cayce quote, "Revelations paint a poignant picture of the spiritual realm, where the fate of a soul is intricately tied to its earthly journey. The spirits that wander aimlessly, unable to ascend, are often those that lacked spiritual awareness in life. They are the souls that neglected the cultivation of mindfulness, self-reflection, and a deep connection to higher truths. This forbidden secret underscores the critical importance of nurturing one's spirituality during their mortal existence. It is a call to embrace a life of contemplation and spiritual practice, not merely as an act of devotion, but as a proactive measure to safeguard the soul's journey beyond the veil. As we synthesize these darker truths, it becomes evident that the afterlife is not a passive destination, but an active reflection of our earthly choices and spiritual preparedness. The implications are profound, urging individuals to reassess their perspectives on life, death, and the spiritual realm. This knowledge is not meant to instill fear, but to inspire a deeper engagement with one's spirituality. It is a call to embrace the mysteries of the soul, and to cultivate a life that resonates with higher consciousness. In conclusion, Edgar Cayce's revelations about the afterlife serve as a beacon, guiding us through the complexities of spiritual survival. They remind us that our actions and spiritual awareness in this life have consequences that echo into eternity. As viewers ponder their own journeys beyond the veil, they are invited to explore these perspectives with a reflective mindset. This exploration is not just an intellectual exercise, but a spiritual imperative that can illuminate the path to a more enlightened existence, both in this life and the next. Embrace this knowledge and let it guide you on your spiritual journey, ensuring that your soul finds its way to the light.